Previously, we've looked at the question of what is the probability of dying in the next 10 years. In this lesson, we'll look at extending that question to the more general question of what is the probability of survival past any time t. We will look at the survival function, a key tool in survival analysis, which will help us answer this question. In this lesson, we'll chat about survival models. So in the prognostic setup we've looked at thus far, we've asked questions of the form, what is the probability of death for a patient in 5 years? And so we built a model that says in 5 years, what is the probability of death? Now that is very closely related to another question, which is what is the probability of survival past 5 years? And this can be simply computed from this first quantity over here. So let's say our probability of death in 5 years was 0.2 or 20%, then the probability of survival past 5 years is simply 1 minus the probability of death in 5 years. And let's say that was 0.2, then this would come out to 1 minus 0.2, which was 0.8 or 80%. And so we ask questions of this form thus far. Survival models are going to extend that question to say, what is the probability of survival past any time t? So this is not just 5 years, but any time t could be 1 year from now or 10 years from now. And the key trick here is that earlier, if we wanted to build a model for a different time horizon, let's say we didn't care about 5 years anymore, but we cared about 10 years or 1 year, we'd have to build 3 separate models for the patient. But the trick to survival models is survival models that can answer questions of the form, what is the probability that the time to death is greater than 2 years? So we can see for this patient, the probability that their time to death is greater than 2 years is 0.8 as outputted by the survival model. For 5 years, 0.7, and for 10 years is 0.5, all outputted by that one single model. The key quantity for here is this. What is the probability that the time to death is greater than some number of years? And this is what we care to model in survival models. The probability that the time is greater than some quantity, and that is called the survival function. And the survival function is a function that's defined for every time point t, and we'll talk a little more about the properties of the survival function shortly.